I think it was fascinating when I was talking to Barry last year about afterlife, and I asked him, I said, what about religion? And he said, there is no religion on the other side.
Well, that's right.
And I said, well, what happens to the popes and Muhammad and all that lot? They go off to another place. Yes.
They don't get any special privileges. In God's world, we're all the same.
But the church, to a certain extent, has a lot to answer for because it's put a lot of fear into people, hasn't it?
Unfortunately, yes. I mean, God is not this, this judgmental old man sitting on a chair, looking down on a throne, looking down at everybody and judging them. I mean, look, God allows everyone into his world once our journey and our time's up here in the physical world. And it's sad, but, it's like a lot of things on this earth that are not fair and not right. And what do you do?
Indeed, what do you do? Yeah. Now, you, of course, have talked to here about your spirit guides. We've all got spirit guides, most of us not aware of them.
Yeah, that's right. Look, a spirit guide is like a lot of people have the understanding that, like a guardian angel, it's a spirit, it's from the heavens, if you like, that are there to help you and guide you and just, you can turn to them whenever you need a little bit of strength or you need a little bit of courage to face a particular situation. And if you truly open up your heart, you really do feel that healing. You really do receive the blessings of your guides or your guardian angels.
Now, we hear a lot about people who have died and come back, because they've been revived or what have you, and they come back with that tunnel experience where they go through to the light and their families there, and most of them saying, look, it's not your time, go back. Right. You went down that track, didn't you?
Yeah, I wrote about that in my book. I asked my guides, I said, I really want to have the experience of death because I want to be able to tell people what it's really like. And so I did. This one night I actually lied on my bed and I kind of went into a very deep state and allowed my guides to take me through this state of feeling like I was leaving, and I did. I left my body. I could feel the air in my lungs as though it was leaving me. I got into quite a bit of detail about it in my book, and it was the most amazing experience. So the more I travelled upwards, it was like my whole body, my soul, my mind was being enveloped in this love, in this light. It was just incredible. And this peace just overcame me. And I didn't kind of think or worry about what I was leaving behind anymore. I just wanted to be in the presence of this love. And to me, that is what God is. No doubt about it. God is, this incredible unconditional love, and it envelopes you and comforts you and soothes you in the most incredible way.
When you came back from that experience, what did you feel?
Look, when I came back from that experience, I would think it was probably, I don't know, it was past midnight, but I remember just all I could do was cry, these tears of joy, I can't even explain it. It was just amazing. I just felt like, oh my God, I just want to go back there. I don't want to be here anymore. It was just, the feeling and just the joy. And I felt the love that I'd received. I felt renewed. I just felt amazing. I felt like I'd been reborn. It was just a beautiful experience. So people must never fear death, and I know it's really sad when you lose a loved one. God, it's the saddest. You miss them, but I just want everybody to know that they are so loved and cared for and looked after, and all the physical suffering of this world is just gone. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, well, that hypnosis does work. And, of course, you can have deep transgression, can't you, where you can actually go back and perhaps even experience some of your past lives.
You can, yeah. And sometimes that can actually help you to better understand the situation that's going on in your current life. Because we bring back some of these lessons, the things that we haven't completed. It's like, well, we come back, we're given another opportunity to actually come back and resolve a particular lesson. And I mean, the whole journey is about just being able to return to this place of love on the other side, and where we no longer need any more physical incarnations.
It's all about karma, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Well, karma, plays a big role in our daily life and how we feel and what we think. It's really important to try and become the best that you can be, and yeah.
Indeed. Now, you've got a daughter that's a bit psychic too, haven't you?
Yes, my daughter is. She's 16, but look, she's lucky she has me, and I've been able to really guide her through it. But again, she's at that stage where, Mum, I don't want to know about it. I'm in high school and I'm studying, and she's just trying to have fun with her life too. So we've got it under wraps.
What else is there in your psychic life for you, do you think?
In my psychic life?
What's next?
What's next? Yeah, that's a good question. I would love one day to travel and go and see the haunted castles in London and around the world. I think that would be just, wow, amazing. So I'd love to do something like that.
Do you think you might be able to clear some of the people who are hanging about?
Yeah, why not try and get a few of them? May not be able to clear all of them, but certainly I'm sure that I'd be able to convince a few of them to cross over. So I'd love to take a journey like that. Yeah.
Because you recount a lot of stories in your book, for example, testimonies from people who you've actually been able to help, and that must be very satisfying for you.
Yeah, I do. I feel so privileged. Some of my clients actually came forward and were happy to write their story and how I've helped them, and I think it's wonderful for the reader. It just gives them a really great sort of view into how energy can affect us, or just the different situations with the different stories that my clients have written. I think just gives a really broad perspective on everything.
Well, certainly it's an eye-opener, and for those who are sceptics, I mean, it might just open the door perhaps to think that maybe there is something there.
Yeah, they should try and kind of challenge themselves just to think a little bit beyond the limitations of that this is all there is. Just because you can't see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
True. Now, and you've probably got clients all over Australia, I gather.
Yeah, I have clients overseas also that email me from overseas that need assistance also. So, yeah, I'm kind of a pretty busy person. Yeah.
Are you surprised at the sort of requests you get sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes I get some funny things, really funny things, but most of the time, they're truly genuine requests, and I can really sort of understand where they're coming from, yeah.
Of course, the one thing that we should point out is that death is not to be feared. At the end of the day, death is not to be feared.
No, not at all, not at all. It really is just a continuation of the soul going into a higher place.
And of course, if you are reincarnated, you can in fact choose to whom you come back to, I'm told.
Well, yes, when you reincarnate, what happens is you're going to be with your guides, and you're probably going to have a little chat about what is the best way to come back and learn the lessons that you're needing to learn. So you're very well prepared for the time that you make that choice to return back into the physical world. Well, who your parents are going to be, and who you're going to divorce along the way, because all of these things come into play so that you can make the most and the best of each lifetime.
Yes, and of course the other point is that you accept the life that you are going to go back into.
Yeah, that's right.
So you know what's in store for you.
Well, you do in the spirit. Sometimes we're in the spirit, once you're in the spirit world. So when we're here, we tend to forget why we've come here, and we kind of get carried away with all the dramas of life. But you think about, let's take divorce, because that's really a popular one. And people absolutely come to that place where they hate each other, and they fight, and they're in court, and they're fighting over forks and knives and plates. But in actual fact, those two souls are doing each other the greatest favour, because they're really teaching each other about compassion and about forgiveness, and that's such a huge lesson. So it's a real sacrifice for these two souls to have come together and chosen to give each other so much grief.
Indeed. What a fascinating story. Fascinating. Caterina, thank you so much indeed for your time. Really appreciate it. Love the book, The Australian Ghost Whisperer, and I'm sure it's going to be a great success. And, if just somewhere along the way, some of the skeptics can just maybe change their minds just a little bit, then you will achieve your purpose.
Thank you so much, Pat.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you.
Caterina Ligato joining us here on 1422 Radio Great Southern. The Australian Ghost Whisperer available from Hatchet, Australia in every good bookstore.